It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know who it is. It's the upset specialist in the house, Thomas Boykin.
Always and forever who? Mr. Mike Jones.
And this is 234 Sports Talk. Fellas, let's talk about it.
Let's
Let's
get
talk
at it.
about it. Elite Eight going on as we speak. We got LSU and Iowa getting added. Second quarter, 38-37, LSU. Fellas, Elite Eight, women's. Let's talk about the women's first before we get into the Final Four with the men. When we talk about these women, I'm telling you, man, the women, man, are really putting on the show. Tonight's game, they say, is probably going to be one of the highest rated women's basketball games in college basketball history. So we got in the women's Final Four, well, the Elite Eight, actually. The Elite Eight is what we're looking at. Fellas, as we look at these teams that are left, you got your LSU, you got Iowa, you got UConn, you got USC, Illinois, Villanova, NC State, and South Carolina. As we look at these teams, fellas, who stands out the most to you?
To me, until you prove me wrong, South Carolina is the team to beat. They've been undefeated all year. They haven't really ran into any buzzsaws other than LSU. So right now, my front runner right now has got to be LSU. Don't get me wrong, Caitlin Clark is going to do her thing. If they do what they're supposed to and make it challenging for them, Iowa is still going to, I think, come up short. Even though it's tight right now, I still think Iowa will come up short. But as I was saying, the South Carolina, Don Staley just has those girls prepared on another level. They played UConn earlier, and it was not even close. And that's with top-ranked UConn, what they're doing in the tournament now, and they're winning. They're beating teams handily, and they couldn't do nothing with South Carolina. So it holds to say South Carolina right now is the team to beat. That they're the marked team. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, like you said, South Carolina, the Gamecocks, the Lady Gamecocks, they stand out. They seem like they are a notch above everybody else so far. And what's crazy about it is they had a team last year where most of the players went to WNBA, and they brought back this year a bunch of young players and sprinkle in a few older players. But it's shocking that they have went undefeated this season so far. And so I kind of look for them to kind of finish this thing out. But I tell you, another team that, well, two other teams that, you got to kind of keep your eye on. Of course, LSU and Iowa, which, they're playing right now. But I think LSU is going to get the upper hand on this game. I mean, Iowa, they've had some games where they kind of struggle, or at least early in the first half, and kind of had to fight their way back. Caitlin, Caitlin Clark had to put on that Superman cape and bring him back. But I'm gonna tell you guys, there's one other team, and this is not the men's team. This is the women's team. North Carolina State, man. I watched them play against my Lady Vols in the tournament, man, and they got some players. They got some players that are getting it done. In fact, I think they, if I'm not mistaken, I think they upset number one seed, the Lady Texas, and so the Longhorns. So they definitely got pieces to take this thing to to the next level too. But overall, man, until somebody show me different, man, South Carolina is that dog.
Gotcha.
Fellas, as we look, you got anything, Tom?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, so you fellas stated that you think that LSU is gonna pull it out tonight.
I do believe they'll pull it out. Caitlin Clark is going to score her points, but I still think LSU as a team will come out on top.
Yeah, I say this too, Jeff. Now, if I'm LSU, what I don't want is score to be a 1 point game and it's late,
Yeah,
clock is ticking down and Kaylin got that ball. That's what I don't want. Because
yeah,
That's
you
Kaylin,
what
don't
I
want
man,
to
want.
see that.
she's destined to hit that shot. So if you're LSU, you want to try and get some separation in this ball game, and now you definitely don't want this ball game to be close. Not at all.
Nah, you want this at between a 7 and 9 point spread.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep this game at least a 3 possession game, at least to take doubt out of there,
Mm-hmm.
to where she's gonna have to be forced to force shots. And when you try to force a shot, most times out of 10, you're not gonna make it if you force it.
And also, Thomas, you had spoke about this earlier. LSU needs to they need to take it to Kaylin Clark, make her work on defense, actually kind of get her in some foul trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Get her taking out the ball game early or late to where she
absolutely,
can't do any damage.
absolutely. That's part of the things that I've watched as my coaching eyes. Uh, she has a great game, but nobody makes her work on defense. She's either sagging off helping or not paying attention to nobody. Somebody's got to make her understand that she's got to play both sides of the ball. And once that gets exposed, I think that changes your whole shot, because now you got to use your legs more with defense, and it's not going to be the same shooting a jump shot.
Yep. And that may be her strategy to just kind of lag a little bit on defense and kind of preserve them legs too.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you make her work so she don't get to preserve it.
All right, fellas, as we look at the UConn USC game, USC, of course, number one, UConn number three. Them ladies will be getting it on at 8:15 today. Uh, who do you guys like in this one?
I kind of, being the upset specialist that I am, and everybody is, oh, UConn, UConn, UConn. I look for Juju to go off and USC upset them, even though they're the number one seed. But I look for USC to still get them. I think Juju and the rest of her squad will come to play. I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go in and lay down. I think they're gonna go in and try to run over UConn and try to catch them on a bad shooting night. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, Juju is good and all, but UConn is still they're not the same UConn that we have grown accustomed to, just blowing teams out and winning championships every year. Of course, South Carolina has taken that reign. But UConn is still a great team. And I think that number one seed that they have, they're gonna make it at least a little to the next round anyway. You know what I mean? I think they will make it to the final four. We'll see from there. But I think they'll win it. Gino, he's still a great coach. I mean, he's a wise old man. Just something about UConn, man, and how ironic if they could pull something out, pull a rabbit out the hat all the way through the tournament and make it to the championship, man. And we haven't talked about the men yet, but man, we can see some more history being made.
Absolutely. It could very well be. I mean, right now, UConn is trying to do something unprecedented with both the women's team and men's teams winning a title again in the same year. That's unprecedented. Um, I almost thought Duke was going to pull it off for a second, but both of their teams wound up bowing out. Now we're looking at both North Carolina State is trying to pull that off.
Yeah.
I guess they listened to the Jimmy Valvano speech before they played this tournament. So, hey, kudos to them. They're doing their thing. So, hey, anything's possible, even with the men being 11 seed and the Lady Wolf Pack not being ranked that high.
Yeah.
I tell
But
you, fellas, what? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
nah, I was just gonna say, every now and then you gotta get a Cinderella in there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say North Carolina State is a Cinderella, as far as the women are concerned, but back with UConn, man, they still got this one player. I can't think of her name, guys. Maybe y'all can, but they got a legit WNBA player on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're all good, but this one particular young
She's a
lady is
standout. I can't think of her name. I think.
she's a she's a problem though. She can be a handful.
She's definitely a problem, and she's
Are
coming
you
off.
talking about Paige? What's that there?
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
because she
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
came.
last name start with a B. I can't think. I can't think of her last name. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but she's just coming off of 2 major surgeries on her knees, and she coming out balling.
Oh
Is
So
it
wow.
Bukers or something like that?
yeah, Bukers.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, Paige Bukers she's legit. She's a legit.
Fellas,
She's a
I,
legit
I
ball player.
you look at the way they played with. Look at Duke came out flat. I'm looking at Duke and I'm like, man, look at this ain't the time for y'all to play flat. But at the end of the game, they started bringing it back and they got it close.
Mm-hmm.
But if UConn plays that type of basketball that they played against Duke tonight, I think USC gonna upset them. I ain't gonna say upset them. USC gonna beat them. I think so.
Yeah, a lot of people sleeping on the fact that actually USC's the higher seed.
Right.
So I mean, this is the one time that UConn is going in as an underdog, as a 3 seed or a 2 seed. So we'll see how that plays out. But I still look for USC to win that game.
Yeah. I
Being the
would not.
upset specialist that I am.
I would not be shocked. All right, fellas, let's turn our attention to the men's Final Four. All right, we got Purdue versus NC State. We got UConn versus Alabama. And Purdue, number 1, NC State, number 11. Fellas, as we look at that game, let's talk about that game first, the Purdue NC State game. What do you guys think about this game, this matchup?
I think we're in for a low scoring game. I think you're going to be in for a defensive, grinded out game. Neither one of these guys score a whole lot of points. You're looking at a 50 to 60 point ball game. Somebody's going to win in the 50s or 60s. So everybody's going to try to play post ball. Of course, Edie's going to touch the ball for Purdue. DJ is going to touch the ball down low for Carolina State. It's just going to be a battle of will and attrition down in the box. It may also come down to who's going to step up and make threes and make key shots during that game to put them up front. Because it's going to be interesting game. But as far as who I'm going to pick in this game, I'm the upset specialist. That's what I do. I got the Wolfpack keep on dancing. I got the Wolfpack keeping on dancing. Don't get me wrong. I'm pro Big Ten. I love my Big Ten. Purdue is a representative of the Big Ten. But right now, if you look at how they've been playing, North Carolina State went on a roll from the ACC tournament to now. They knocked off Carolina, Duke, Wake Forest. Before they started this ACC tournament, they lost 10 or 14, their last 10 or 14. So for them to be on this kind of roll, they're peaking at the right time. So give me the Wolfpack in this game. What you got on it, Mike J?
Oh yeah, I like that. Upset specialist. I will agree with you once again, man. As far as how the ball game will be played, I believe both teams will throw it in the post, and it just gonna pound the rock, man. It's probably gonna be some fouls called. The game is gonna be slowed down quite a bit. So, like you said, I don't see a high scoring affair. So but and both bigs Burns and Edie. I mean, I don't know if the referees know how to call the fouls on these big guys. It's gonna be interesting because are they gonna call that little ticky tack foul, or is they gonna let them play? I wish they let them play. You know what I'm saying? Let them play and see what happens down there down low. But as far as that extra person, they're gonna need both teams gonna need that extra score. Who's gonna be able to hit the three when they wide open? Because I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be open. You know what I mean? And so is both big men gonna be conscious enough to be able to kick the ball out when they, instead of putting up a hard shot in the post. But like you said, Thomas, man, NC State, man, they got hot in the tournament early, in the AC tournament. They've been riding this wave all the way through. At some point, man, and I don't know, man. I just don't know, man. For whatever reason, I think this is Purdue year to make it to the finals. And it's been a long time since they've been there. So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna put that upset specialist thing on this game right here.
Mike Jones, I agree with you on that. I hear you, upset specialist. You make a good case. You make a good case, and it could happen that way. But I just think that right now, man, Mr. Edey, he's a problem. He's a problem, man. I really didn't see this coming. I really didn't see this coming, man. But the man had 40 the last game. I believe like 16 rebounds, 40 and 16. Come on, man.
40 and 20.
40 and 20. That man a monster.
40 and 20.
That man a monster. That man is a monster. And I think he's gonna be too much. He's gonna be too much for North Carolina State. And I think that this where the train get off the track at.
I don't know, cause see, yeah, Edie's tough, but have you seen DJ's footwork?
I've seen DJ. DJ got nice footwork, man, but he going up against a giant.
Hey, but the giant is being outweighed this time, so he ain't gonna be able to move people out the way.
Man, that's a monster. That man
listen,
is a monster.
Hey, DJ is a monster too. Trust.
Listen, one thing I noticed for Edey, that a lot of teams, I don't know if they just can't, push him out further away from the rim. Because the closer he is to the rim, you don't got no shot. You gotta push him when he comes down, when he crosses half court. You gotta meet him up there at the foul line up there. You can't let him push you down.
That's taking energy to try to stop him from running to his spot. That takes energy.
Yeah, it takes energy, but I think, man, you got to use a lot of bigs too in this game. Put some guys in there that's gonna get a foul here and there. You know what I'm saying? Be physical with the big fella.
Mike Jones, if I'm North Carolina State, I'm running a set to where I got a man every time I'm playing zone, and every time my zone rotate, I got a man in the front and a man in the back. So if you try to put the ball down, you got no shot. You in little people lane.
Yeah, but man, hopefully, man.
Hey, Gonzaga worked that angle like that. Gonzaga worked that angle like that, waiting on him to put the ball on the ground and snatching it. You got to play good backside defense to snatch it.
Yeah. My question is, how tall is DJ? I mean, will they both?
I think 6'8" or 6'9".
Yeah, and dude is 7'4", man. I don't know if they're gonna match up. That's who's gonna be guarding.
Height-wise, Edey will have the advantage. Strength-wise, I think DJ will have the advantage.
Oh yeah, DJ better eat up.
Something's gonna give.
Yeah, that's where the road meets the road, right there.
The irresistible force versus the immovable object.
I think the Big Ten finna represent. I think the Big Ten finna represent.
I'm okay with that.
Me too. I like it. All right, fellas, let's talk about the next game. In the Final Four, UConn, #1 versus #4 Alabama. Fellas, what do you think about this game? You think it'd be competitive, or you think UConn gonna continue to just roll over the competition?
I think Alabama has the potential to run with them. Alabama has the one thing that UConn has. Well, they faced it with Illinois, but Alabama does it on another level. Alabama scores a lot of points. I mean, they really score a lot of points, and they have the ability to jack up shots you know that's conducive of scoring a lot of points. The problem with that is UConn can match it, so it's going to be a battle who blinks. Uh, I think Alabama will give it a go. I think UConn still pulls it out. Just for them being in the situation before, being as a returning champ, and being in this situation is not new to them. I still think UConn still comes out on top of this with ball execution and solid defense. What you got on it, MJ?
Yeah, this game right here is going to be opposite of the NC State Purdue game. It's going to be
Absolutely.
a lot of getting up and down the court. Thing I would say, Alabama, they score a lot of points. But I have seen if you are a team that can get a little physical with them, then they tend to not, you know, that more or less like a finesse basketball for them. They can't, and I think UConn is much better on defense than Alabama is, and that's where I think Alabama might get blowed out in this game. I'm looking for UConn to at least win this game by 15, if
Ooh.
somewhere between 10 and 15. I think Alabama
Okay.
gets blowed out.
Okay. I mean, I can feel that. I can feel that game get away late.
Yeah,
I
late.
think Alabama give them a run, and Connecticut will pull away late because Alabama will be put
I
in
agree
a
with that.
situation where they have to score and they got to shoot threes versus shooting threes versus the flow of the game.
And then not only that, UConn got a big man too.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he's nice too.
he's a load too. So
Yeah, he's nice too.
yeah, so
Like I said, being a returning champ, you already know what it takes. They've already been in this situation. So they already know how to game plan around tight games and tight situations. So I still got to give the edge to UConn in this game.
and then too, guys, man, who saw this coming? I mean, now granted, yeah, you still a champ until somebody dethrone you, but a lot of people, a lot of the media did not see UConn coming back and being this potent. In fact, they're more potent this year than they were last year.
Oh, they're beating.
And so
Hey, they're beating people handily. Their teams ain't even getting close to beating them, man. They're not getting close. They're beating people by 20, 25, 30. It's ridiculous, man. Like
right.
well, Jason Williams said, they're a well-oiled machine. They just move. They just keep moving and score. They do everything well.
Well, fellas, let's step ahead. Before we leave up out of here tonight, I want to get you guys' prediction. The men, who you guys predict to win it all?
Uh, I'm gonna stick with my upset specialist special. I'm gonna take UConn and North Carolina State in the championship game, and I'm gonna still have to give the nod to UConn to win it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna take UConn and Purdue in the championship game, and I think that's where Edie has a real bad game. I just think UConn's gonna come up with a solution for the big man, and Purdue is gonna get swept under the rocks like everybody else is. UConn wins the championship. Men.
All right, fellas, on the ladies' side, who you think will be the last two standing, last two teams standing? And who you think will win?
If it comes down to it, if they handle their business, this final game for the women's national championship should come down between LSU and South Carolina. And then, if with that being the case, I got South Carolina redeeming themselves from last year and winning it all. I think Don Staley has those girls prepared and ready to go. I think South Carolina wins it all. What you got on it, MJ?
Well, as we look right now, I like what you said, LSU and South Carolina, but as we speak right now, LSU is about 2 or 3 points behind Iowa right now. So, you know, Iowa, this may well could be Caitlin Clark send out from collegiate basketball. She might go out a champion. You know, South Carolina is beatable. I look for Iowa and I look for South Carolina to play in the championship game, and I look for Caitlin Clark to come out victorious as the champion.
I'm gonna say something about that scenario, Mr. Mike Jones. I like that scenario. Don't get me wrong. I like that scenario. But if it goes down, if you don't think Don Staley will have that day circled from losing to them last year, you are mistaken, brother. They are gonna come out prepared to shut down Caitlin Clark. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, fellas, we've talked about it. Till the next times, 234 Sports Talk. You can catch us right here on YouTube. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on X. You can catch us on Instagram. We want to hear from you. Want you to like, want you to comment, want you to subscribe. Until the next time, we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.